Om, Om, Om. Om Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चिदं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापित्यत सर्वं त्रिलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं यद्दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अमृतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दैवैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्य मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। So with this, we will do our short meditation, and after that we will begin our Gita's lectures. So please join me in a short meditation. I will bring you back at the end. Om. 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 Last time we left at stanza number 27 of chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. So we will begin with stanza number 28. But before that, because we are about to finish this chapter in a little while, and I want to remind again the same thing I told long time ago. Gita has 700 stanzas, 18 chapters. Oh, somebody may think, too much to read. When are we going to finish that? Actually, that is not the case. We know that there are 3 blocks of 6, 6, and 6 chapters in the Gita. Each block has a meaning. The first block, which we are about to finish in a little while, says Tad. What a beautiful name, short. But it is the name assigned to that Supreme, the big self. Najayate mriyate va. Who is he? Najayate namriyate va. From the very beginning, he has already proclaimed તે તો જન્મતો પણ નથી અને જન્મે નહીં એટલે મૃત્યુ તો છે જ નહીં. These 6 chapters are consolidated of Tad. The following 6, ending in chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, he will talk about Tvam, you. And then in the last 6, he is going to prove mathematically that Tad and Tvam is just nothing but a sea. What is this saying here? The infinite, all-pervading, and you or us struggling every moment. And the truth is, hey, don't struggle. You are that. In order to see this, you are that. Many people ask, oh, તે જોયો હોય તો જરાક બતાવની મને. No, એમને એમ જોવા ના મળે. એ તમારી અંદર બહાર બધેથી પસાર થતો હોવા છતાં પણ એનું નામ પાડેલું તદ. તે. એ તે કંઈ જેવો તેવો નથી. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, he explains how you are born as a soul. And he compared himself, like if you see the physical structure of the universe, there are many, many millions of nebula, millions of galaxies, and millions of suns, more big than our sun. Everywhere is a glittering light. He's like a Luarna Bhattajevo, locksmith fire, And there would be, from that infinite glow, these sparkles would fly. He used the word in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Vishfulinga, means Tankha. We were born as Tankha. And now you know, as a human form, we struggle. And in 700 stanza, if you read everything, do this and that, if you don't do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. Very complex thing. If you read that first time, if you have courage to go second time and then forever, would be some soul. Why did he create all this problem? Why did he not just allow everybody to see him anytime they want to see? And the little glorifying answer is, hey, I have not left you alone. I have created the entire universe, then the solar system, sun and the planets, and you are living on the most beautiful planet that we know, Earth. Water is free, air is free, you breathe, drink water. Food, he is producing food also in the soil. You have to work a little bit, because if you don't work and get the free food, you would be lazy, doing nothing. So number one thing, he has not left you alone. He has given you everything. And so he just wanted to tell you that, hey guys, now go back from scratch and come back to me. A little game, a little teasing, a little struggle. But in the 6th chapter, when we come to the end, he is kind of glorifyingly narrating that in the process of coming to me, the last stage, you will experience the anand, you will experience the pleasure, which is not describable. So we are going to see that, and that's why we will begin from stanza number 28, where we left, and see what he has to say. And again, remember that Arjuna is always there to check him out. If he misses anything, and he's going to ask a very potent question after a few stanzas that, hey, even after struggling all these things, if a mistake occurs, and then that soul, without completing his achievement of becoming 100% yogi. After death, he will not shattered like a rain cloud. ભાંગી ગયેલા વાદળાની જેમ વિખેરાઈ નથી જતો. And there is a truckload, loaded answer coming. We have to really see all that clarity he's bringing. So please be prepared and let's move on. Yunjanevam sada atmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma sansparsham atyantam sukham asnute. This yogi, Yunjanevam, who is striving all the time, Sadatmanam, always staying in the Atma. This is another thing. Every time there is staying in the Atma or do within the Atma, he is bringing the Sankhya here. Get out of the body and mind. Stay in Atma. And by practice, we have to do that. Stay in Atma. Because mind is always dragging you in the cycle of waste of time. Does not let you achieve what you have to. That's why he's again saying, Sada Atmanam Vigata Kalmashaha. Vigata means gone. Whose sins are gone. What happened to him? Sukhena Brahma Sansparsham Atyantam Sukham Asnute. Asnute, enjoys. So he attained with ease the infinite bliss of contact with the Brahman. So now on he is bringing what experience this sadhu, this yogi will have. He is going to tell something like that. Sarvabhutastha atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani. This is another thing. He's indirectly pushing to the non-dual. Sarvabhutastham atmanam. Having seen in his own soul all the other creature. And sarvabhutani cha atmani. And keeping everybody. So first he sees as outside people, but then he sees they are already in him. Atmani, Satmi Vibhakti. In the Atma. This simple thing shows that there does not exist any multiplicity. It's one. He is hinting that we will be moving towards that non-dual. And that is how we have to approach that Tattvamasi. You are not an incy-bincy sparkle. You are that. Remember here that no other religion philosophy has reached to this point of the daring statement. They would have said, well, that is, you die and that is the end of that. But this one is proving that Tattvamasi, you are that. Therefore, you are not dying, you are not born. You are not born anytime. What a loaded statement they made. And Gita's struggle or narratives is pushing to that end, that understanding. Iksate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. Iksate, sees. Yoga yuktatma, always united with the yoga processes. He, by seeing himself in everybody and then everybody in himself, he is samadarshana. એના તો કઈ જુદું દેખાતું જ નથી. He sees just one everywhere. Samadarshana. With equal vision. He sees this thing. If this thing happen at least in few more people, particularly the leaders, if they become samadarshinaha, then this world would have been so much harmonized that we cannot imagine. Yaha mam pashyati sarvatra. જે કોઈ મને દરેક જગ્યાએ જુએ છે, who sees me everywhere. Sarvam chamai pashyati. And then seeing in me everybody. Tasya aham na pranashyami sachame na pranasyati. I'm not losing him, nor he loses me. So there are statement after statement coming now about the approach of the small self to the big self. Sarva bhuta sitam yaha mam bhajati ekatyak tvam sthapitaha sarvatha vartamano api saha yogi mayi vartate. So how he is going to mayi vartate. He is going to be in me. But how is he going to be in him? That is what he is saying now. He is established in oneness. Sarva bhuta sthitam. Established in oneness, worship me, abiding in all beings. That yogi lives in me, whatever may be his mode of living. So, whatever sarvatha vartamano api, whatever may be his mode of living, but he is always living in me. So he is now saying how he is approaching me. Atma upamenya sarvatra samam pashyati yaha Arjuna. Sukham va yadi va dukham sahayogi paramahamata. Here is the testing coming. Testing of the person, that even in pleasure or pain, he maintained the same standard of living. Sarvatra samam pashyati yaha Arjuna. That yogi paramahamata. That yogi is regarded as the supreme. So he is kind of giving some qualifiers to that person. And now here is a loaded question coming from Arjun. Until now you have seen that he has forgotten the massive oceanic size army. You don't even remember. He doesn't even tell Sri Krishna, hey Krishna, let's go to this war first, and then we will win. We will have your Gita narratives in the Raj Sabha. Everything is forgotten. Everything is dead silence. Yeah, time stambelo. We have to clarify that I have not forgotten that. When we will be studying the Gita, I think this is also the hint that just study it. Forget the surrounding, forget the world. Do that way. Arjun have a loaded question. Yah ayam yoga tvaya proktah, passive voice. Hear this yoga spoken by you, Samyena Madhusudan. You have been describing so much equanimity. See everybody the same, see everybody me in them, everybody are in you, you are in everybody, all that type of thing. But I have a dilemma here. Yah ayam yoga tvaya proktah samyena Madhusudan. Hey, bhai Madhusudan, all this equanimity talk you have been doing, and you spoke about that type of yoga. I have a big dilemma here. Etasya aham na pashyami chanchalatvat sthitim sthiram. The mind is so fluttering, chanchal. Mind is so fluttering or restless. Mind is so restless. From that state, how would I be able to see the stage in which the mind would be stable? Really, really loaded question. We also ask that our mind does not let us do dhyan. So this is everybody's problem. And Arjun thought, oh, Sri Krishna forgot or what, I have to know about that. So he's saying further, chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramarthini balavad dradam. The mind is so much restless and turbulent and strong and unyielding. He has used three adjectives for mind. Hey Krishna, this is what the mind, so look how much knowledgeable he is. He is very attentive. He heard every single word of what Sri Krishna was telling. But then look at the sharpness of his mind. This is a very important question. And we want to see what happened about the answer here. Tasya aham nigraham manye. Tene control karu. To control that mind. Vayoho iva duskaram. Vayoho iva duskaram. The word is vayu, wind. Vayoho chakti vibhakti. To control that mind is just like to control the vayu, the wind. How can we control the wind? It just moves automatically. That is the characteristic of the mind. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. His answer is also, I would say, probably more loaded than Arjun's question. They are like in competition. Arjun wanted to kind of, under the impression that, well, this question is going to conquer him. But then Sri Krishna, the style and the wording is so much cooling. And look at how much cooling we will see in this stanza. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Bhagavan Bolela Uvacha. Perfect past. Asansayam mahabaho manahadur nigraham chalam. Both of these people, Arjuna and Sri Krishna, they are saying each other Mahabaho. Here Bhagwan is saying Arjun Mahabaho, mighty arms. In stanza number 38, Arjun will say Bhagwan Mahabaho. Marvelous people here. Two people, their language is so much surpassing, mind-boggling. Asansayam mahabaho manahadur nigraham chalam. Are bhai mahabaho. Oh mahabaho. Asansayam. Ema to shanka છે જ નહીં. There is no doubt. I agree with you. Manahadur nigraham chalam. મન તો એવું ચાલે છે કે એને પકડી જ ના શકાય, એને કંટ્રોલ કરી ના શકાય. દુર્નિગ્રહમ ચલમ. Then what to do? અભ્યાસેન તુ કૌંતેય. જીવનમાં દરેક વસ્તુ અભ્યાસ વગર પ્રાપ્ત થતી નથી. અને અભ્યાસ તમારે જાતે કરવો પડે છે. Not a borrowed. You cannot borrow abhyas. That is another thing. Abhyasena tu kvante vairagyena cha gruhyate. Vairagya, dispassion. Vairagya does not mean nafrat. hatred, not a negative feeling, but a true understanding that this is black and this is white. That is called vairagya. Abhyas and vairagya. Pachu avse abhyas and vairagya. He is 1 minute. He is putting emphasis on abhyas and vairagya. So, be patient. Somewhere he said before, Shanahi Shanahi Uparmed Buddhya. Dhruti Gruhitaya Atmastham Manaha Krutva Nakinchidapi Chintayet. Before also he said, Shanahi Shanahi. Are bhai dhire dhire. ઝડપ કાં કરવાનો અહીંયા? શનૈઃ શનૈઃ, slowly. ધૃતિ ગૃહિતયા, ધીરજ ધરીને, patient. આત્મસ્થમ મનઃ કૃત્વા, મનને ધીરે રહીને આત્મામાં ગોઠવીને. આત્મસ્થમ મનઃ કૃત્વા ન કિંચિત અપી ચિંતયેત. બસ કંઈ જ વિચારવાનું નહીં. Nothing, absolutely don't even think. Archana, what do you say?
I'm sorry. I lost my marker. So when I started, I did not get to the point where you were. Can you tell me where you are right now?
We finished last time at stanza number 27.
Yes.
And we began with stanza number 28. And
correct.
Now we are in stanza number 35.
Okay, good. I got it. Thank you.
Sorry about holding you.
No, that's fine. I was trying to look, but I lost everything. So thank you.
I was just
completing. Yes.
Wanted to bring the point.
No problem. That's okay.
And sometime I do like that.
That's okay. It's my mistake. So
no, not your mistake.
So it is still chapter 6 and
yes. No, chapter 6. Now I'm saying
30.
Stanza number 36.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Asanyatatmana. Je control na kare, who doesn't know how to control. તેને માટે અહીંયા ધમકી છે જરી. અસંયત આત્મના યોગઃ દુષ્પ્રાપ્ય ઇતિ મે મતિઃ. Yoga is very difficult. That is what I believe. That is what Sri Krishna is saying. See the necessary and sufficient condition to go into yoga. Control of mind. In a day, this is what I experimented, and I thought I may share with you. In a day, 3 times, pick up 3 times, like after breakfast or whenever. Choose a spot where there is no disturbance, you are all alone. just with half closed eyes, breathing subdued, almost no thoughts. You gently whisper to the mind, remember you are the Chetana, you are the small Jiva self. In the hierarchy of Sankhya, mind is below. Mind is supposed to be at your command. You should be an emperor. You should be sitting on the throne, Maharaja. What exactly happened though? The Maharaja and the mind, they one time fell in blender and became smoothie. They became one. They became so much tangle that to find the Maharaja and to find the mind, where are those two people? No, they are blended. They are one. There is not two. If you have this puzzle, slowly, slowly, shanaihi, shanaihi, untangle. Shanaihi, shanaihi, untangle. After rigorous practice, you will see that, my God, this man is an independent, separate entity. When you will achieve that stage, you are Maharaja. Treat that das, treat that servant respectfully. You tell the mind, hey, mind, I have a goal to achieve. And this may take about half an hour in the beginning. Then when you are used to it, it will take a moment. Hey, mind, I want to visit my place. Would you please relax during that time? And by relaxing, you will gather tremendous energy and momentum for later functioning. When you have achieved this capacity, you will leave the mind alone, and now the Maharaja is walking to the emperor, the big one, big one, big one. In the beginning, few years, I would say, not days or hours, in few years of this practice, you will notice, and I'm not going to promise things here, but I'm going to say something definitely. You will gather so much energy in you. So much concentration. so much of everything. And that is not my goal, that I wanted to achieve so much of this and that kind of thing. No, that was not the thing. But in the beginning, when you perceive that even a little effort like this has resulted into this kind of thing, how about if I go all the way, what will happen? That is what I'm saying, step at a time. Then, after lunch, you do this. And after dinner, you do this 3 times a day. And don't fix the time that I want to sit here for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You may be sitting there for a whole day. So try that. असंयत आत्मना योगः दुष्प्राप्य इति मे मतिः वश्य आत्मना तु यतता शक्यो अवाप्तुम उपायतः. Whose mind is uncontrolled, for him the yoga is difficult to achieve. But upayatah, Triji Vibhakti, by upaya, by efforts, by efforts. See, here again, he came back to the same thing. By efforts. એ બજારમાં મફત નથી મળતું. Not free. By efforts. So he's putting emphasis again. And now Arjun has another loaded question here. He's after Sri Krishna. He does not want to let him go, finishing this 6th chapter right away. Ayatihi, uncontrolled. Shraddhaya upetaha, yoga chalita manasaha. Somebody is Shraddhavan. Somebody has a lot of Shraddha. And I'm not replacing by faith here. I'm still using Shraddha in English also. If a yogi is Shraddhavan and yogat chalita manasaha, yogat panchmi vibhakti, from yoga, his mind becomes chalit. What happened? Mind become chalit means deviate from the path. Aprapya yoga sansiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Correct? When he could not control in his sadhana, and then yoga sansiddhim means before he reaches the perfection in the yoga, he may have to leave his body. Kam gatim Krishna gacchati. What happened to him? He did a lot of work, but he was up to here, but then without reaching the perfection, he had to leave this world. What happened to that person? And here another truckloaded answer coming. But Arjun still continues here. Kaschid na abhaya vibrastha channa brahmiva nashyati. There's a lot of tangle of sandhi here. Kaschit ubhaya vibrastha chinna abram iva nashyati. Arjuna is asking that soul who could not complete his yoga sadhana, after death he is not gonna be like without any support, like a rent cloud, like a shattered cloud. He is not gonna be vanishing. Vimudaha brahmanaha. And vanish in delusion in the Brahman. What would happen to him? This is a loaded question. And because there is a continuity, I am still continuing. It's a time for the questions, but we will get there. Etad me sansayam Krishna chettum arhasi asheshataha. What a language. આ મારી શંકા છે. એનું અશેષતઃ ભાગાકારમાં શેષ નહીં વધે એવું. અશેષતઃ કંઈ જ બાકી નહીં રહી એવો જવાબ આપ મને. And then he kind of praising Sri Krishna a little bit, why he is asking this way. Tvat anyaha. What a marvelous phrase here. Tat. Tat is a Panchami Vibhakti. Tvamni. તમારા સિવાય સંશયસ્ય અસ્ય ચેત્તા નહિ ઉપપદ્યતે. તમારા સિવાય આ શંકાનું સમાધાન કોઈ કરી શકવાનું નથી. ન અર્હસી, કોઈ લાયક જ નથી. ન અર્હસી મીન્સ કોઈ લાયક નથી તમારા સિવાય. You are the only one who can give the right answer. And then I would just touch this stanza number 14. There is some more coming, but that will catch up next time. Partha na eva iha. Absolutely not here, he says. Na amutra. Not in another world. વિનાશઃ તસ્ય વિદ્યતે. અહીંયા તો નહીં પણ બીજી દુનિયામાં એનો વિનાશ થવાનો નથી. Not only here, but in the other world also he is not going to vanish. Nahi kalyanakrit. Kalyanakrit. Who has done good things. Kalyanakrit. Nahi kalyanakrit. kaschit durgatim tat gacchati. સારું કરનાર માણસ કોઈ દિવસ આવી રીતે વેનિશ થતો નથી. તો શું થાય એનું એ બીજા બે સ્ટાન્ઝા આવશે. That will knock your socks off, those two stanzas. Your eyeballs will fall off what he will say. So I am going to hold right here and we will have that anxiety fulfilled in the following lecture. We will stop at stanza number 40 and catch up the lot of excitement next time. But we will now pick up some questions like the way Arjun was asking, see who is becoming Arjun here. Yeah, Deepak bhai, કેમ છો?
That's fine. Present day rationalist, they always quote Charvak. And Charvak's thinking is, I think, exactly opposite which Krishna and you are saying now. Can you just take me away from Charvak?
What is Charvak saying?
Charvak is saying that the now rationalist, there is nothing like when you are gone, your death is finished, nothing is there. That is his thinking. And present day rationalists are just quoting him. And they says that he has a big literature which was just burned out.
There are.
Sorry if this is not proper here, then.
It is very, very proper. If you go to the court, there are damn good attorneys. And even if somebody has committed murder, that damn good attorney is able to save him from all kind of punishment. In the eyes of the judge, in the eyes of the panel, the audience, everybody was sold out by that attorney. I'm not giving any names on this TV here.
That's true.
But there are a lot of famous cases that we know. Now, there is always an audience. They would believe, for example, in anyone saying anything. But the only one thing the wise will do is ask a question. That this is achieved through brute logic or a pinch of wisdom. There are a lot of Gnostics. I have a very good friend of mine I have many friends, and one of the friend always talk about the spiritual path, confidence in gods, etc. Another friend will have a sharp logic and always prove that just live the life the way you want. Don't worry about any God or any Krishna or any Gita or it is useless. When I see him, because he's a good friend, and friend may have his or her own thinking. So I usually stretch my lips like this,
Agreed.
and I constantly look at him. And he has the answer. The answer he get is, Amrit Bhai, absolutely don't believe me. But he doesn't wanna, he chose not to go in argument with me. I will give one very good illustrative example and then I will move on. Ramakrishna was invited to a very learned person. I believe it was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar or somebody similar. And there was a lot of audience came because they wanted to hear both of them. One was a famous philosopher, religious person, and another never went to the school and also had the reputation of going into samadhi and all that. So they both got together in a palace-like home. Vidyasagar started speaking. Speak, speak, speak. He kind of just keeps speaking. After an hour, he asked Ramakrishna, why didn't you argue anything? Do I say everything right or wrong? You don't want to say anything? So Sri Ramakrishna stood up. He gently walked to him and hugged him tightly and said, "You spoke marvelously. I'm very impressed. But whatever you spoke was through the grace of that infinite. You didn't do anything." That single statement knocked the other person out. He realized that the logic has no place in front of this person. He sees him everywhere. So even in my speech, he saw him. How can I defeat him? He stopped speaking, became humble. So Deepak Bhai, I don't know which way you will
I agree.
head now, but I did not give the answer directly. So you can figure out the answer whichever way you want.
I got it.
Any other somebody? Come on, come on. There are a lot of questions here. Okay, I think you just want to stop right here. So we will stop and I will have the closing prayer and then the Sanskrit friends can stretch a little bit. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Mamruta Gamaya Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om.
Thank you, Amrit Bhai.